it's Di here from Di's Den, and welcome to Wowza Wednesday. Look at this beautiful project. This is a lovely urn gift box, I'm calling it. I'm calling it a chocolate urn gift box. Urn. So this box measures, let me tell you, it's quite big. It's 4 inches square around the middle here, and it is overall 5 inches high, which I think is absolutely gorgeous. I love this lovely shape. Do you like this shape? And it holds, well, it's kind of full of a whole box of these Cadbury Favourites. This is a 265 gram box, and it will hold the whole box full. So we're going to make one, being a Wowza Wednesday, and the only one I think before Valentine's Day. Even though I'm not a big Valentine's Day person, we're going to make a Valentine's Day one, but the paper that I'm using and the stamp set are all retired, so because I'm not a big Valentine's person myself, but I just thought, I love it. I'm going to fill this one with, I don't know what, give it to my mum for her birthday in April. Well, that one's all full. That one's actually full because I had another box, because these came out at Christmas time. They were 2 boxes for $10 in the cheapest chips store here in Adelaide. So I got 2 boxes. So the other one's full in there. So I haven't eaten any of them. I've been a good girl. I haven't eaten not even one chocolate out of them. So let me pop that empty box over there. Oh no, I won't. I'll leave that there because I can then use it for doing my bits and pieces. I don't need that. What am I doing? Okay, so I've done part of the box because there's a duplicate. You have to make 2 halves. So I've made half, and we will do the other half together. So let me pop these on one side over there for now, and we are going to decorate it. And I'm going to show you what we're going to be using. So I've actually used this heart punch pack, and that's a plain one, and the scallop one, which I've already stamped in advance, but because there's a fair bit involved in the rest of it, so I've already stamped that bit. But I'll show you, I used the stamp set that went with this set at the time, called Heartfelt, and I used Love You Lots and this heart here, and I stamped it in real red. So I've done all of that, but at least you can see what I used. So I'm going to use some of these iridescent gems. They are still in the annual catalogue, so we're fine with those. Okay, so this is what you're going to need. So you're going to need 2 pieces of card that measure 8 1/4 by 5 3/4. So if you live in the US, you can actually get this, leave that extra 1/4 of an inch on here, so that you've got a bit longer tab on this side. That's not going to be an issue. So you need 2 pieces for that, for the main box, and then you'll need 2 pieces that measure 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, and they're for the base of the box. Then you're going to need 8 pieces of card that measure 3 1/2 by 3/4 of an inch. Now, as I say, I've already done half, so there's only 4 here. And you'll need 4 pieces that measure 3 3/4 by 1 7/8, and that's for the main box. For the lid, you're going to need a piece that measures 4 7/8 by 4 7/8. And 4 pieces of designer series paper that measure 2 5/8 by 3/4 of an inch, and another piece that measures 2 5/8 by 2 5/8. Okay, so as I say, I've done half the box because you don't need to see me score and cut this out twice. So we've done one lot. We're going to do the other one with us together, and then we will actually assemble it together. So I'm going to bring in my scoreboard. And we're going to score this on the long side. Oops. Can I get it in there? Yes, I can get it in there. Using the small ball because we're using cardstock. And we're going to score this at 4 inches and 8 inches. Now, as I say, if you're in America and you've got the 8.5 inch wide, that's fine. You just have to, can cut that off, or you can leave it so you've got a wider piece on this end. Now, turning this cardstock so that this little line, the tab end, is at the bottom, we're now going to score this at 5/8 of an inch, 1 5/8 of an inch, 3 3/4 of an inch, and 4 3/4 of an inch. We're then going to turn it back to the long side, and we're going to score just down to this first score line only. So we're going to score down to this first score line at 5/8 of an inch, 3 3/8 of an inch, 4 5/8 of an inch, and 7 3/8 of an inch. Now we're going to turn it over, and we don't mind that it's turned over because all these score lines on this bottom piece, which is the shortest end, so that's the long end with the tab on the end. This is the smaller end, and we're going to score this exactly the same as the top one, which is at 5/8 of an inch down to the first score line. 3 3/8 of an inch, 4 5/8 of an inch, and 7 3/8 of an inch. So it doesn't matter that those score lines are showing the opposite way. We're going to now bring in our ruler, and we're going to be doing a bit more scoring. And we're going to score from the second score line up to that that one that we put at the 5/8, 3 3/8, 4 5/8, and 7 3/8. So we're going to score on the diagonal up to those ones, like so. On that one, I'm going to do this one. I'm going to do both sides on this one. And we're going to do this one at this end. And then we're going to do exactly the same at the bottom. We're going to score from that one up to the next score line on the diagonal. And the same with this one. And this one. And this one here. So what we've done for this one, we will be doing for the other one. So both of these are scored identical. Both of them are cut identical. So let me turn my page so I can see exactly where I'm cutting, so I don't have to do it by memory. Alright, so we're going to cut this, and we're going to cut along the bottom first. So we're going to cut away these 2 small pieces on this tab end. So we're going to cut up to the second score line, and we're going to cut that away. Like so. Then we're also going to cut away this little square here. That's why we didn't worry about the fact that we scored that the opposite way around. We are going to remove that square like so. Then we're going to go up to the next one, and we're going to cut up to the first score line, and on the diagonal across to the second score line, and we're going to go right down the middle of that and remove that section like so. Then we're going to remove this little square here. Like this. And then we're going to remove these 2 here. So we're going to go up to that first score line and then diagonally across to the second score line. Making sure that you cut away that score line nicely. If you're a bit like me and haven't done that, go back, and that's better. Oops. So that's the bottom of the box. Okay, the bottom of the box is the end with the small section. The top of the box has the large score line. So now we're going to turn this around, and we're going to cut away these 2 top on the same end of this little tab end, so we're going to remove those two, and we're going to then we're going to cut up along the second line to that score line and notch that in top and bottom like so. Then we're going down to the next one and we're going to cut down to the second score line down the center, and then onto the next one, and we're going to cut that on the diagonal across and remove that whole section. We're then going to go back in here and cut along to that score line there, and we're going to notch that on the other end. Now if you follow me on Facebook, there is the instructions, and this is all on there, how to cut it. I'm going to just trim that one up a bit more. That's better. Alright, and then we're going to remove this full section on this end. So our piece will look like this now. Let me get rid of those. This is what our piece of card will look like, which is identical to this one. I'll turn it up the right way. Okay, so that's the two pieces. This one I've already put the pieces of DSP on, which we're going to do before we actually, well, we're going to fold and burnish it first. So we're going to fold and burnish all the score lines, every single one of them. So those ones in, including these diagonal ones, we're going to fold them in and give them a good burnish on both sides there. Hold down the middle, and then on this little tab end here. Okay, bottom. We're going to fold those ones in, and that diagonal score line is getting folded in as well, the same as this one. So along the bottom and this last little diagonal score line, making sure that it's nice and in there nicely. Okay, so once that's done, we can bring in our pieces of designer series paper, which we had 4 of these. So because 2 are already on there, and we've got 4 of these. Now if you've got directional paper, sorry, you will need to be careful which way you cut them. So I've already marked these. So on the back of this paper I have marked them, as you can see, at 3/8 of an inch from both ends. And you're going to do that on all of them. Now if you've got directional, you will need to make sure that you cut 2 from the bottom up and the other 2 from the top down. So you will need to watch which way is diagonal. So I've marked all of mine because my paper is non-directional. And so we're now going to cut from that mark down to the corner on the other side. We're going to do that on all 4 of these. And you'll see that that will fit in there nicely. And these were 3.5 by 3/4 of an inch. Oops, well, that one goes there. I'm actually going to pop that one at the bottom and that one at the top because that looks a little bit better to me. Just cut this last one. Oh, it's really getting warm in this room. I should have put my air conditioner on. It's quite stuffy. Okay, so that's the 4 of those. You know, you would have had 8 altogether because you would have had the other ones. And now we're going to just glue those down. You might wonder why these were shorter, but it's because of the angle. Otherwise you wouldn't get the right shape. So... But if you, as I say, if you've got directional paper, you really do need to watch for the top ones. so that you've got them in the correct orientation. So we're going to pop all of these on here nicely. I didn't think that this needed to have an extra layer in here because the box is quite sturdy as it is. So I didn't do another layer underneath my DSP for these. I just thought, I didn't see the point. It's nice and sturdy. So I just went with the one layer. And being as I marked these on the back, I don't even have to remove the little marks where I put to come in the 3/8 of an inch. Okay, so that's our two pieces done. Now what we're going to do is we're actually going to glue those two pieces together along this tab line. Like so. Let's press that down nice and tightly from both sides so that it's done. We can't do this with the other end because we're now going to bring this one over and we're going to glue this tab on this end. And I'm holding it up so you can see the tab. This is only a 1/4 of an inch tab, but I think it's big enough. I have not had any problems with it. So, and this is the third one I've made. So I'm going to just open that up a little bit like this so that I can rub that down on the inside like so. Okay, so we're going to work along the bottom edge. Now this edge with these tabs on it, that's the top. This short one is the bottom. So we're going to bring this over and we're going to turn it on the side. And we're just going to put a little bit of glue on one of these triangular tabs here. And we're going to bring it in and line it up like along that edge. So that's nice and together. We just need a few seconds to hold it. Then we're going to move around to the next one and do the same. And once again we're going to bring that in and pull that out. Push that down nice and tightly. And I'm going to put that around and do the third one. Whoops. This can get a little bit fiddly, but there's plenty of room to get your hands in, unless you're a big man, I think. There's plenty of room to get your hands in there. And then we're going to pop the last one in on this end. Like so. Bringing that one in so that it comes together nicely. So you get that nice shape. I'm just going to hold that for a few seconds to let it sit. Once we've done that, we can see that we've got this going in here like so. So what we're going to do is we're just going to pop a tiny little bit of glue under one corner of them, holding them together for a few seconds. It doesn't matter if you don't hold it together for a few seconds, because we can then do it from this side. So we're going to pull these back out of the way and we're just going to push them together so that it's a nice square piece on the inside there, making sure it's nice and square. Once we're nice and square like that, we're then going to place glue right around on that section on that section at the bottom there. And we're going to bring in one of our base pieces and lay that into the bottom there on the inside of the box. Give that a good squish down, like so. Then we can turn it over. With that flat like that, we can pop some glue all the way around this one too. And we can pop glue all the way around, plus through the middle, so that it stays nice and firm. Making sure we've got plenty on there so that it stays on. And we're going to pop the other one, because we had two of those, remember, at the 2 3/4 inches, I think they were, yes, onto the bottom, squaring it up nicely. Give it a nice squish down, turn it back over and give it another squish from this side, so that we know that that's on there nice and firm. Okay, so now we're going to bring in our top pieces. So we're going to turn these top ones down out of the way. I just found it easier to do it this way. I mean, it's up to you. And then we're going to do our little tabs across this top bit here, like we did the ones on the bottom. We're going to bring that in and we're going to hold that on that corner just long enough for it to set. And then we're going to work our way around the box again on those little triangular tabs. Once we cover it, yeah. Oh, I feel like I'm going to sneeze. I've got a bit of a runny nose today. I don't know why. It's middle of blooming summer. Not that we've had a real crash hot summer yet, but it's very hot and muggy out there today. Not real hot, but it's like 28 degrees, but it's very, very muggy with it. Okay, that's Celsius, by the way, in case you're wondering. Last one there. Okay, so once we've done that, we'll start back at these ones and we're going to pull these ones in like so, because we want these tabs to be on the inside. And we're just going to put some glue on this tab there and this one here. So I'm starting on the opposite side to where I finished with my other little tabs, and we're going to pop them in to give this box a neck. And you can see how sturdy this box is. It's really sturdy. So we'll do this one on this end here. And then we'll pop these ones up here to get this nice neck as well. There. We have a nice neck, and it's big enough to get your hand, and I can get my hand in there, and I don't have the tiniest hands. I mean, don't have huge hands, but I don't have tiny hands. So that's our main box made, and while that's all drying and getting nice and hard, we'll pop that out of the way. We're going to turn the page again, and we're going to work on our lid. Alright, so we have our piece which is 4 7/8 by 4 7/8, and our two pieces that are, this one is 2 5/8 by 2 5/8, and these are 2 5/8 by 3/4 of an inch. So we're going to bring in our scoreboard again, and we're going to score this all the way around at there. Where do I put it? Making the, gosh, I can't even read my own writing today. 1 inch. So we're going to score this at 1 inch on all 4 sides. There we go. Let me pop that through, all the way through. That's better. Alright, so once we've done that, we're going to cut this piece like so. So we're going to cut up this one and notch it. on both ends. We're going to turn and we're going to cut this one up to the first score line again and notch it on the two ends. Turn it again. This gives you a bit more of an even around the box by doing one on each corner. So once we've done that, let's move them out of the way. We'll give this a nice fold and burnish. Like so, and then we will glue these onto our box lid. And our 4 pieces around the edge. Oops. Sorry if you can hear my husband's bike out there. Oops, we're going to go around that way. I think he might be going out for a bit of a ride. It's supposed to get some rain later today, so I'm sure that that's probably why he's going to go out for a ride now before it gets too damp. Okay, so once we've done that, we'll now pop our tabs in and glue those around as we go. One at a time, around, squaring it up as we go. And the lucky last one. Oops, get that on just on the inside a bit. Okay, so that's our lid done. I'm just going to go around and just pull them down nice and tight. And we can bring our box in and our lid fits on perfectly. Look at that. Oh, how gorgeous is that? So now we're going to I'm just going to decorate it with this one heart on one end. One side, I should say. It's not an end. Well, I suppose it is an end. And we've got some dimensionals, which I'll see if I've got any here. Here we go. Put on the back of this. So this will fit on the front here. So one at the bottom. There you go, like so. And then before I glue that on there, oops, I'll put a couple of these on here. So I think we need the medium sized ones. Oops, it's on my finger rather than stuck to my finger rather than the tool. And one more. Yeah, I've got one, so we'll pop that one down the bottom there. Okay, so that's done. Pop this onto the front of the box like so, and that's our box. So I will fill it with the chocolate so you can see that it will hold a whole packet of this 265 grams of yummy chocolates, and I've even got a couple of my favourites in here. So I'll pop them in. So you can see they all fit in here just perfectly. So what a great idea. Great idea for a birthday present. Mother's Day even. Mother's Day is coming up in the Northern Hemisphere in March, and down here in Australia that's not till May. So there you go. You can see it fits a whole box in there. You saw me empty the box onto the side, and so that's our box. It's called a Chocolate Urn Gift Box, and as I say, I've made 3, and I will decorate the last of these 2 before I photograph them. And I hope you've enjoyed that. It's a beautiful box. Love it. Love the way it's turned out. And as I say, it's nice and big. It's not tiddly-widdly like some boxes are. So if you've enjoyed this, please give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss any of my projects for 2024. And you can go back and look at all the other ones on the other side, the other years as well. I'll just pop that there so you can see it. Not that you can see it very well, it's a bit out of focus. There we go. Okay, so yeah, if you would like the written tutorial for this, you can follow the link down below here to Die-Stem for Stamping, Crafting and Tutorials. That's my Facebook group. The project will be called exactly the same, Chocolate Urn Gift Box. It will have WW in front of it, the same as the name on the this video, which means Wowza Wednesday, which is a once-off every month project if you're if it's your first time with us. And you'll find all the photos there, plus the written tutorial. The tutorial is written in metric and imperial measurements. I like to use inches. I can visualize an inch better than I can 2.5 centimeters. That's just me, but I have both on the sheets. As I say, this is my draft copy, so as you can see I have the inches here, what part they are, and over on this side I have the centimeters. I have the same when it comes to your scoring. I have it in inches and centimeters. So, and I do put directions with, you know, what it's supposed to look like, so you know that you're on the right track. So if you've enjoyed that and you'd like to subscribe, I would love to have you on my sites, and I will see you again next week. Bye for now.